Hi, hello there. Welcome back. I'm MV Moran. I'm your teaching artist today. And just to let you know a little bit about me, I live in Eugene, Oregon. I like to teach classes. I teach kids and I teach adults. So today we're going to continue learning how to have a really good sketchbook design. Okay, we're going to really think about our sketchbooks today. Monet is not with us today, I'm sorry, but she'll be back on Monday, and I'm super excited about that because it's way more fun having a buddy when you're drawing in your sketchbook. So this lesson today is drawing ordinary objects like a spoon, a fork, apple, and oranges. You're like, Mrs. Moran, that's super easy. It's not. It's going to take a lot of concentration. Okay? All right. But before we get started, we need to get our bodies and our mind ready. Our bodies and our minds ready to be in the studio, ready to draw. Okay? All right. So we're going to do our mindfulness now. So sit down. Keep your body really still. Put your hands on your lap or on your table if you're sitting at a desk. Close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose, really gentle. Breathe out through your mouth. In through your nose. Out through your mouth. One more time. Have a really calm body. One more time. Now open your eyes. And I would like you to do some shoulder shrugs. So lift up your shoulders and go back. If this hurts, don't do it. Lift your shoulders and go back. Do it one more time. Much better. Now, let's get our hands ready. Put your hands out. I'll go this way. Put your hands out. Wiggle your fingers. Do some wrist rolls. Oh, that feels good. That's nice. It's early in the morning. All right, stretch your hands. All right. My body and my mind knows it is time to be in the studio. So I'm ready for that. So I wanted to let you know, I did finish my sketchbook that I started in lesson 1. So lesson 1, we made sketchbooks. And if you're like, oh no, Mrs. Moran, I wasn't here for lesson 1. I better not do this. Stay here. Be with us. It's all good. I'm going to show you a little trick. Just grab some copy paper. Don't worry about building your sketchbook. Go through this lesson and then go back and build yourself a sketchbook. And the reason we don't just keep drawing on pieces of paper is because our sketchbook keeps us super organized. Because we could draw on this wonderful piece of paper and lose it. It could get recycled. So if we have a sketchbook, someone's like, oh, this is important. This art is important because it is important. Okay? So first thing first, it is time to draw shapes. So it's time for us to warm up in our sketchbook, if you will. So go get your sketchbook. Go get crayons or pencils or color pencils or even markers, because I'm going to show you a trick with markers. Okay? Okay. So grab your supplies. I'm going to get set up too. So I'm grabbing my sketchbook to draw in. I think I will take this sketchbook here, my copy paper sketchbook with my name all fancy. I'm going to turn it over. There we go. I'm all ready. And I'm just going to draw shapes, just like we did in lesson 1. And I'm super excited. And I have lots of things to choose from. Look, I have crayon, I have color pencil, I have graphite, also known as pencil. All right, I'm going to take this red and I'm going to draw a circle. Oh, that's lovely. Now I'm going to show you a trick about circles. People think like, oh, you draw a circle like this. That's not the right shape of a circle. If you keep going over and over and over, you get the perfect shape. Because then you just practice and practice and you start making perfect circles. Let's do a square. Let's do a triangle. And let's do a rectangle. This looks more like a rectangle to me because it is. All right, let's make a square. All right, look at that. That's beautiful. And what I like to do when I have time, I like to take another color and then I just kind of color in a little bit where I think I missed, and then I get a really cool design. Look at that. That's gorgeous. And then I like to color in a little bit here, like that. So you can do that too. And do you see when I color, I don't go like this. There's no air or space in between my pigment, my marks. I go like this. I keep them pretty close together. Now I'm going to write what these are. All right, I'm going to take graphite. Okay, I've got a circle here. Circle. We talked about this yesterday. Circle sounds like it starts with an S, starts with a C. I'm going to put circles, because that's what 3 of them, plural. Triangle. Oh, it doesn't look like I have an L there. I have a square. We decided that is a square. And this is a rectangle. Awesome. Look at that. Looks so good. Plus, I practiced my penmanship too. That's really good. And I thought about my colors. So I thought red and yellow and blue are primary colors. All right. But I have 2 primary colors. I have red and yellow. Okay. So I'm going to push this aside for a second. I'm going to get a new page out. And I'm going to draw from my imagination. I'm going to use my imagination. What do I want to draw from my imagination? I think I'm going to draw a cloud. I'm going to draw a green cloud. So I got my green colored pencil. And as you can see, I do not have an eraser. I do not need to erase. If I make a mistake, it's no big deal. I'm in my sketchbook. Plus, I found that even on fancy paper when I draw and I erase and erase and erase, I really don't stay focused on the drawing. I worry too much. So I'm just going to make a fancy cloud, just from my imagination. I have a cloud here. And then I'm going to color a little bit here. And I could even get another color if I wanted. I could color here and here. I'm really patient when I color. I'm really patient when I draw. I'm not in a hurry. Like I always say, there isn't a taxi cab waiting for me. When I'm in the studio, I'm like, I'm here. Now I'm thinking, I think I would like to draw a flower. And I'm just using my imagination. So this might not look like a flower, but I'm just going to draw a flower. And my flower is going to be green in the center. And it's going to have petals that are orange. Petals that are orange. I love it. I'm just using my imagination. I want you to use your imagination. You do not need to copy me. This isn't about copying. You draw your own flower or whatever. Draw a car, tricycle, yourself, your hands. Oh, that's a good one. Hands are good. I'm constantly drawing my hands just for fun. All right, now I'm going to draw. Let me think. Okay, I really want you to do this. I want you to take your orange crayon, and I want you to draw an orange. I bet we all draw. That looks like an orange to me. I bet we all draw something like this. Just an orange. There, we've got an orange. Now I'm going to draw an apple. What does my imagination think of an apple? Let me think. Probably something like this. You know, just an apple. Okay. I wonder if my imagination took into account apple and orange really look like. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so we used our imagination. We drew our rectangles and our shapes. Now it is time. Now it is time to draw ordinary objects. For looking at ordinary objects and drawing them. And this sounds easier than it really is. So I have an apple here, and I have an orange here. And I'm really looking at this apple and this orange. And what I'm thinking is, wow, these are not completely round. Like I drew them just round. But this orange has a flat bottom, and this apple does too. I also see red here, and I see green here, and I see yellow here, and I see the stem is brown and blues and purples in there. And this orange has lots of different colors. It has yellow, it has green, it has a little blue in it. You can go, no blue, yeah, it does. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to put this down flat on this piece of white paper. I want you to look at this really quick with me. So you can see the orange here, and you can see the apple here. I'm going to move the apple, and I'm just going to show you some stuff about orange. So this orange has this color orange in it. It has this color orange in it. Look at this. Oh yeah, there's some green right there, and there's some green here. The shadow looks a little green to me. All right. So I'm going to get all these colors out before I draw. I think about my colors before I draw. I want you to think about that. Maybe even say it out loud. I think about my colors before I draw. I don't just grab while I'm going. I think about it. So, okay, I got those. Oh, yeah, definitely take this color here, a little yellow, yellow orange. And I'm even going to take this, what is this, olive? Oh, they just call it yellow. It looks a little light in here. So I got my yellow too. So I have all these colors. I think I want a little blue. Let me think. Let me look. Oh, definitely. Definitely. So these are the colors that I'm going to draw in orange. You're like, what? Orange? Really? Yeah, I am. And I want you to too. So I want you to grab these colors if you have them. If you don't and you're using graphite, no problem. Keep using your graphite. All right. Because this is about you drawing for you. I'm just teaching you tricks, little steps, just teaching you how to make your drawings pop. Okay, so I have my orange here. The light is coming over here, so I have a shadow here. Now, in my studio, I do not put my orange on my sketchbook. I have a separate piece of paper that I put my fruit on so I can see the shadow. But this is such a small space. I want you to see this. So here I have my orange and the shadow. And I always put it under white paper so I can see everything clearly. If it goes on the gray side, let me show you, it's harder to see the shadow. Look at that. It's just harder to see the shadow. So that's really good. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to start really, really light. So I start really light because I'm not going to erase. I just don't erase because that ruins my paper. All right, so I'm just going to start, and I'm making this orange bigger than it really is. I look at this and I go, oh, that's a small orange, but I want to draw a little bit bigger orange just to take up room in my sketchbook. All right, so there we go. Now I go, oh, this orange isn't rolling around like a ball. It's flat on the bottom, and it is. So I'm going to put a little flat surface here to help me remember this orange has a flat surface. Now, this orange right here is the end of the paper. I'm going to pretend the end of the paper is right here. That's my horizon line or the end of the paper. And you're like, well, the end of the paper is white. It doesn't matter. I'm going to make it green. So I have my orange here. Okay. And then I think, well, it is a little yellow right here. So I'm going to start with the yellow. What? I'm going to layer my colors. You can layer lighter colors and then put darker colors on top. Did you know that? You don't have to just use one color. You can use all kinds of colors. I'll show you. So here's yellow, because I'm thinking about right here. And now I'm going to take this orange and go over it a little bit. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Exactly. I want you to keep coloring. And then I look up here and I go, oh, I got this little guy here. Okay, he's right here. I'll make him green for now. I'll change him a little bit later. And I'm thinking, little lines. Little lines. You're like, Mrs. Moran, you're putting green on this orange. That's okay. It's the background. I'll cover it with some orange later. I'm always thinking ahead when I draw because I don't have an eraser, which is good. Because you know what I would do? I'd be like, oh, I don't like that. I'm going to erase that. And this orange would never get done. I'd be working on this orange all day long and not getting anything else finished for the day. Okay, see, look how I can put colors over there. All right. Do you see how I am just thinking about different colors for this orange? Now, in my imagination, I just used orange, right? But this orange isn't just orange. It's all of these colors here. All of these colors here. And you could even put a little red if you wanted to. Just really make it all pop. Put a little red. I want you to think about things like that. I want you to think, is that orange really orange? What happens when light hits it? What happens when a shadow hits it? Things really change when we really look at an object, okay? So let's turn our paper, and we'll do apple now. I'm going to push my pencils over to the side, and I'm going to start with a new page. Put my apple, all right? And there's the shadow, because what? The light's coming over here, and here's my shadow, and then the shadow's here, and it has a little stem. And this one is not perfectly round, because look, it doesn't roll. Definitely not round. So first things first, I'm going to pick out my color of choice. What do I see? Yep. Oh, yeah. That definitely has some yellow in it. Another kind of red, yeah, because this one is magenta. And then I bet there's some orange in here because red and yellow make orange. Yep, there's some orange in there. Yep, there's some orange in there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Let's see if there's some warm yellow. Yep, warm yellow. And even this one. And I'm even taking some green because look, my shadow looks a little green to me. And it looks a little purple too. I have a periwinkle. Oh, yeah. And you know how I feel about periwinkle. Oh, maybe you don't. I love periwinkle. It's my favorite. Yeah, gorgeous. Okay, so I've got my color choices. I'm pushing everything else aside. I am going to keep this red crayon out as well. So I have my color choices right now. Some people would call this a palette. I have my color palette, if you will. All right, I'm going to move this to the side. Now, when I'm in the studio, just to let you know, I keep my pencils in a Judson's coffee cup. So I take out all these and I put in the ones that I'm using into this Judson's coffee cup. I've had this forever. I love it. So I usually keep things pretty organized in my studio. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to start my apple. I'm going to make this one a little bit big too. Okay. And I go around a circle. It's flat. Remember, it's flat. And it also has some edges because I can feel it. You can feel this apple has edges. All right. So I want you to take your time, use all your colors, and I want you to draw this apple for me. Okay. And we have to leave pretty soon, which is a super bummer. But I want to go over a couple of things with you when you look at an object. Okay. So here I have this spoon. And here I have a fork. I'm not sure we're going to have time to draw the spoon and fork. I might bring it back. I apologize. I got all wrapped up into apples and oranges. But this spoon is just an oval. And we've been drawing circles and ovals. It's just an oval and a very skinny rectangle. This fork is basically, if you look at the shape, look, it's a rectangle and a very skinny rectangle. And these are just tiny baby rectangles, these prongs. So everything I'm teaching you starts with our basic shapes: circles, ovals, rectangles. All right. So I want you to go find your ordinary objects, and I want you to draw after I leave. Okay. I want you to draw after I leave because I only get 25 minutes with you all. So I wanted to talk a little bit about shapes, but I also wanted to spend a little bit of time on how to keep your art supplies organized, and maybe a little bit a way of organizing them so they don't get damaged. Because the number one problem or issue or challenge I see when I go to schools is that we have all these broken crayons everywhere. And I found an awesome trick that I wanted to show you all. I'm not going to eat yogurt right now. I ate that yesterday. I love yogurt. So I keep my crayons in a plastic container. So much better than the cardboard. The cardboard ones, somebody can step on them and break them. In your backpack, they can get smushed by books. In this yogurt container, it's nice plastic. It keeps everything really sturdy. And someone's really going to see this red lid when they're walking around if it's accidentally on the ground. So this is a great way to store. Plus, you can just take a few crayons with you when you travel, and you can take those with you. And you know, Monet loves to travel and draw, and she likes to put her crayons in a plastic bag like this with her pencils like this, and she'll even put her sketchbook in here, and everything is in one place, and she'll put it in her backpack. So this is a good idea. If you keep your sketchbook supplies organized and safe, they will last forever. This colored pencil is like 30 years old. I've had this for 30 years. I don't use this color very often, but I've had these colored pencils forever because I take care of them. So if you take care of your supplies, you're going to have them forever too. A little spiel about taking care of our stuff. Okay. All right. Well, I want you to keep drawing. I'm hoping that your teachers will let you draw for maybe 10 more minutes so you can draw your apple or an orange. Or if you're like, Mrs. Moran, I'm in school. I don't have an apple or orange or a fork or a spoon. Draw this crayon box. Draw a crayon. Anything. Oh, draw a cup. Okay, so just pick up anything ordinary. Hole punch, scissors. I have so many ideas. Markers. Oh my goodness, I have way too many ideas. All right, well, I can't believe it. Lesson 2, we're finished. We've done a lot. Let me think what we've done. We've drawn circles and shapes. We've worked on our penmanship. We worked on our spelling. We talked about primary colors. Red, blue, and yellow are primary colors, and that means all colors are made from red, blue. Yeah, red, blue, and yellow. I might have said green, I'm sorry. Red, blue, and yellow. And so those are primary colors. We learned about drawing from our imagination, which is fantastic. And then we went and learned how to draw from real life, real objects, ordinary objects. And we also learned to get our colors organized before we start. We learned 5 different ways of thinking today. Wow, I'm really happy. All right, next time, lesson 3 is going to be filled with art games. So it's going to be super fun. Monet will be back because it's super helpful to have a buddy with lesson 3. It's super fun to have a friend with you. So maybe you can get a buddy. All right. And don't forget your sketchbook. So keep building sketchbooks, keep drawing in your sketchbook, and I will see you lesson 3. All right. Okay. Thanks.